Welcome back to the HyphenatEdDLeader podcast. I'm Dr. RSmarr, and this is season 2, Leading from the Margins to the Center. You're about to enter Voices from the Huddle, a special series within this season where we will pull up a chair with EDD holders, scholars, practitioners who are reimagining leadership within and beyond the university. These are colleagues that I deeply admire, people who are navigating complex, hyphenated journeys across all educational spectrums, their personal lives, and are really intentionally working beyond the academy. Each conversation you'll hear is a real dialogue, sometimes virtual, sometimes in person, centered on leadership practices, their identity, and multiple hyphens that we all carry. These aren't polished keynote speeches, so buckle up, buttercup. They're honest, vulnerable conversations where we talk about what it means to lead from the margins to the center. I'm excited to welcome this multi-hyphenate leader to the conversation, so please join me for today's staff huddle. Alrighty, so Dr. Cota, I'm very excited that you're here today to share about your experience on the HyphenatEdD Leader podcast. So to get things started, can you introduce yourself and your hyphens, whether they're educational, personal, or professional, and then share with us how they might show up in your leadership?
I feel like lately I've been just showing up to work and not thinking about these other identities. But then they show up when I encounter cases with students.
Yeah.
And I think that like first gen side of me, when I see students who are struggling with resources and their mental health, rings personal to me. And so when I see that students are requesting exceptions to drop a course or to withdraw or to, do a leave of absence, I feel that I have a team that's very student-centered. And then there's also some individuals that challenge, kind of are maybe more old school or less empathetic.
Got it.
And so there's a balance, but with that, I feel like the work that I do doesn't let me forget about my identities as my hyphens.
Right, and because they show up every day.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I could give you a hyphen, it would be an educator and an advocate, because you're filling in the gaps for a lot of students who wouldn't know to have access to these resources. Because I think about my own first-gen experience, I would have never thought to ask for an exception to withdraw a course. I would have never thought to go to the department to say, hey, I want to do study abroad. Do you have any resources?
Yes.
I just never did it.
Yes.
Never considered that there were other ways to navigate campus. And I think that might be the next one, is like you're a resource provider for students as well. So
yeah, I'm kind of straddling two different positions right now in the graduate department, where I'm doing student affairs, which has been what I got my degree in, and then academic affairs, which I have no background in, and has been a struggle, but they really go hand in hand with supporting students. And I think my passion right now has been trying to figure out where there's loopholes, policy loopholes, to support students. Because I really don't think that the system is built for students who come with all these different identities to campus, right? It is not a one size fits all. And so that's when they encounter issues. And I think that's where our job as educators is to step in to help them navigate that.
Right. To be that middle person, to help them connect to different things that they wouldn't have thought to advocate or access for themselves. Because a lot of students, I would say, and this is me being grand, they just come to school for the degree, and it's like, but you have access to so much more. And it's individuals like ourselves who have been through that experience who can say, no, now that I'm in this role, there's more you can have access to. There's more that you can do as well. So I think this leads perfectly to our first question of leading from the margins. Share a moment when you felt marginalized in your own leadership, and how did you navigate through it?
So I think that ageism is something that pops up a lot in my career. I have been doing the work that I've been doing in student affairs for about 9 years. But if you count back to when I first started in undergrad, it's been like 20 years, right?
So those guys count. You got involved as an educator.
But there's always this, there's like this hierarchy that higher ed works off of. And a lot of the times there's this story of like you don't have enough capital to voice your opinion or to make those changes. And I can think of conferences that I've attended that focus on leadership or student affairs, where it's been the demographic that attend are typically a lot older, a lot seasoned. And it's like some are curious about the younger folks that are in the room and some don't make space for them for whatever reason. And I think that experience has almost come up also in higher ed and other spaces. And it really makes you think about how you're showing up, how you're dressing, how you're speaking. It almost forces you to kind of this like code switching, right? Of like,
it's like they're judging a book by a cover, and you still have to kind of show them like, no, I demand this space. Like, I command this space, and I have made my way to be here.
Yeah.
And yet they still question it.
Yes. It's like you have to prove yourself. I wish, I mean, it's almost like you have to wear the doctor title
big on your chest.
Yes, for them to be like, okay, you did something.
Right? You got some sort of terminal degree here. Let's see what you bring to this. Like, what's your expertise?
Yes, exactly. Yes, I feel like it really pushes you to kind of be on your feet when you're in those spaces and making sure you're like dropping scholar names and citing research.
Bring it all out with you to the meeting. Like, just in case you ask me, I have the data.
Yes.
I've got a stat to give you.
Yeah.
That's rough. Because I will say, because we got our degree around this at the same time, that once I got the doctor title, people stopped second guessing me. They stopped second like, well, why are you here? I'm like, I'm here because I'm the expert. Because I have the lived experience, and similar to you, like, I count my years as an undergrad doing this kind of work with my peers as 2006. Like, so I'm at 20 years. Like, I feel very esteemed and feel very much established in my field, but that should have been more than enough in the degree.
Absolutely.
As well. How, this is off script too, how has being Dr. Cota opened a door to or allow less of a double look or a double question about your expertise?
I think so. I've been kind of hibernating and in a cave since the doctorate. It was more of my own. You know, the program for me was a good experience, but I was in my head a lot. Like, it was more of I was my own biggest critic, and so I did a lot of damage, like, by myself. And you know, we're like in the pandemic, so there's like that added, you know, of
pressure.
Time too. Yes, alone time and just trying to figure that out. So I feel like when I send out emails is where I notice it more, because I made sure to put it as my signature.
Yes.
And so I think that there feels like more respect through an email. There's a difference.
Because there's a sham, right? With doctor. Like, that's fine. That works for me too.
And in my position, you know, there's I'm like, okay, this is my title now. Let me share it. Let me put it on my office door. And so people are aware, and I think they make a little bit more space for you. Like, there's more of a pause. Oh, what's going on?
Like, tell us your thoughts on this, whereas before they just brush by you, like, next agenda item.
Exactly.
Like, no.
I felt like when I was first starting out at UCSD, I really got this sense of like, you didn't have the capital, and I feel like I was told at some point you don't have the capital to voice your emotions or opinions or make those changes. Right. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, we have all this experience, all this social capital.
To me is more street cred than a degree that took me a couple years. My lived experience is a whole lot more.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Okay, let's shift into like maybe mentorship and supervision. Okay. Who is someone that championed you on your HyphenatEdDleader journey? Through mentorship, supervision, or sponsorship, because you know those are all like 3 different ways that someone can show up for you. And then was there an unlikely advocate who showed up for you on your journey?
Yeah. So one of my old bosses, Franklin.
Oh, yay. Dr. Garrett will talk to you on the podcast soon.
Yes. He so he did the JDP too. And we sort of helped each other get to the JDP.
Oh, good.
I had applied and did not get in. But when I wasn't ready.
Okay.
I think I was meant to come in with this
cohort 17.
Yeah.
Yes, this is what I was going to say. Like, yeah, that's fine. You came in with the best cohort.
I think the universe meant that for me. So, I had remembered the questions that were being asked, and I shared it with him and helped him prepare.
Oh, so you applied before you?
So I applied first. I didn't get in. He's like, hey, I heard you applied, and do you have any tips? And so I shared, I was like, this is what I remember. And so he went in, he rocked it, he got in. And I was in my head about it, and I was like, I don't think that a doctoral program is meant for me. I was denied. They're telling me no. I had spoken to Daly, and he said to reapply, as they all do, right? And you're like, we choose you on cohort, so make sure you apply. But I was like, no, just not for me. And so Franklin gave me a pep talk, and he's like, do it. I think you'll get in. I think you're ready.
Yes.
And so I applied, and I did. I think everything... They didn't give me a lot of feedback when they rejected me. They just said I needed more experience. Okay. Had no idea what that meant.
Right. It's a vague word that we use so often.
Yeah. And so it was like, build your resume. And I was like, what does that mean?
I get that experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think I just did all of the things that felt natural to me. Mm-hmm. I joined a leadership program.
Oh, good.
Where I got to... it's called Rise San Diego, and it's for urban leaders, and they come up with a project and implement it in the community. And so that's where my poetry books came out of.
Yeah.
And so I did that and really spent, I think, a lot of time doing that social justice work that I am passionate about, that brought me up and helped me go to college. And so when I came back and the program asked me about social justice, I was like, yes, I've lived it my whole life.
Right. I've got an answer for this already.
Exactly. And so I had trouble finding the vocabulary to express myself in that first interview. And I think in the second time, I think I just knew myself more.
Confidence.
Yes. And that was what they were looking for, I think, And so, so Franklin, once I got in, he kind of what you're doing and wanting to give back to the newer generation of students coming through is he shared papers with me, books with me, and that was huge. As first,
you're lost at the first time. Yeah. Where do we even start with all this?
Starting over, especially if you're first gen, it's
and a gap from your masters.
Yes. So he was great when I was a student, and he was great as a supervisor. He's always encouraged me he's been the only supervisor to encourage me to look for jobs outside of my current.
Yeah. He talked you out of a job.
Yeah. Well,
it's mentoring you to do more.
Exactly.
This is good for now.
Yes.
There's more for
you.
So
he shared his portfolio, and he's like, look, this is what I keep. This is what I show. I know myself in the work that I'm doing. This is what I help create, show numbers. So he's very specific. And he's like, when you go into an interview, people like to see that. They want to see growth and something that's tangible, versus you just showing up and giving answers.
Dreaming of, I did this, I could do this, but where's your evidence?
Yeah. And so he's just been really great in terms of staying in touch with myself and some other colleagues that worked with him. And we have a group chat, and we meet up for drinks every now and then, and food and...
So you evolved from colleagues and mentor-mentee to friends.
Yes.
Genuine friendship.
Yes.
That's a good
So he gives advice he's so inspirational. He gives advice in all aspects of life. And he's so real. I really appreciate someone who's authentic about their life experiences and as a leader.
Yeah. Because it could give you the commercial version of it. This is what I'm telling you, but no, I want what's really in your deep memoir.
Yeah.
Darcy, tell me more.
Those struggles that he overcame and the successes, they mean so much more, right? As a leader, to know that.
Yeah. Exactly. Ew. So would you consider Franklin someone who just naturally championed you, or was he more of an unlikely advocate for you?
I feel like both. I don't think so. I didn't think that we would stay in touch. And
because how long were you in the program before he transitioned to his new role? in the community college?
I think we worked together about a year or less.
Really?
So it was short,
but
impactful. Yeah. And so now, I mean, I think I've known him maybe 6-7 years.
Longer than you worked with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you made an impression on each other. I love it.
Yeah.
That's a good person to keep in your pocket.
Yes.
You just never know. Something else might come up with you too.
Yes. So, and he's moving up as he always is. And I think he's so inspirational. So, yeah, I'm glad he's on my team and I know him.
Yeah. When I was at Cornell, we used to create this. We were trying to create this program of a family of mentors. So it's not just one person or here and there, but like that's a good person to have on your team when you can rely on different people from different moments to just pour in and get advice. And the fact that he's still here and you're seeing his career kind of grow and evolve, I was like, this is still tangible for me.
Yeah.
He's not too far removed. Like, I don't know if he remembers me, but no.
Yeah.
He does. I love that for you. You mentioned this a little bit around community and about social justice. So what does community look like for you in leadership and what value does it bring to you?
Yeah, so community has been my lifeline for a long time, my family. And you kind of know a little bit, like I grew up without my parents. My mom was deported when I was 11. And my neighbors, my classmates, they stepped in, like my teachers. I joined some college prep programs, Bar-Logan College Institute. And they believed in me in 6th grade. Wow. And they were like, you're going to college. And they
planted that seed early.
Right? Yes. And so I started doing, we had like Cornell notes. Like we visited UCSD so many times. And I was like, I don't want to go there. I go there every year.
Right. I know that place. I want to somewhere new.
Yeah. And so I was very lucky to just like be a part of Bar-Logan, and I went to Mission Bay High School, PV Middle, to have a really good support system there. And so it was really important for me to give back. And I've been heavily involved since high school. Great. Volunteering and also being a student and helping to do workshops for students, talking about my study abroad experience, talking about financial aid, talking about grad school. I show up to like their career fairs and talk about my job.
Okay.
So I've found ways to stay plugged in. And I had to take a break when I did this program, the doctoral program.
Makes sense.
And I have been taking a pause because I have been feeling burnt out, just like mentally, physically, from the world and from
life is life.
Yes,
hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, it's on pause for now. I'm trying to make sure that I feel ready because I want to give all of myself when I'm ready. Because that's just how my heart works. Is when I'm in, I'm all in.
Yeah, and authentically you.
Yes.
So yes. Yeah, be fully present.
And so I think, I'm really passionate about education, and when I'm given the chance, that's kind of the area that I focus in when I support students. Like that's where I go into.
Good. So you're a mentor of the next student generation coming up.
Yeah.
I like that. And I think it's a really good segue into this next question around finding your rhythms. Because I think that is one thing I've admired since we were classmates to even now being professionals together. Is like, how have you found time to balance life, work, and all the different personal growth opportunities you've had? Because you do it so effortlessly. And I think it's not so much about setting boundaries, but like you're committed to finding balance and really a rhythm for how you want your life to be and know when to step back. So how do you find those rhythms and stick true to them?
So first I heard that balance and rhythm are two different things, that things will never be fully in balance.
Okay, so should we get rid of it? Balance is out.
And it's just what I heard. That rhythm is more attainable because it's finding true to like what works for you in terms of just like it's more of a flow than kind of tipping the scales.
It's more like fluid.
Yes, more like fluid. And then another thing that I heard was make time for yourself now, or your body will force you to make time. And it won't, it'll be unplanned, right? Like it'll come at you. Yes, it'll shut you down, and maybe something exciting is on the horizon and you can't attend because you're just burned out or sick, right? Like your body shows up and you get sick.
At an unexpected time, like this is the worst time to be sick. But no.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the connections that we've made, and it might seem small, but it gives you a time to kind of process, like when you go to brunch or you do happy hour,
Pool party.
or a pool party. Yeah, like those are moments I think that force you to slow down and really appreciate the connections that you've made. And that you can kind of switch off whatever pressure or like that you have going on, and kind of just come as you are. I think that's such a big relief in our community. And something else I think I've adopted more recently that has motivated me to get started on this like mental health and wellness journey is like you have 10 minutes to do anything. So if you want to read, you have 10 minutes before going to sleep. You can do that. If you want to stretch 10 minutes during your lunch or walk around for like everybody has 10 minutes. And it kind of just gets you to do it. And then if you want to do it longer,
because you just did 10 minutes. So
and so it kind of reminds me of like our research days when we were being told like how do we write this big old thing, and it was like the Pomodoro effect that I think was like 25 minutes, just write 25 minutes, whatever it is.
One sentence, 25 minutes, one time.
Yes. And then, yeah, exactly. And so after you just like start, you can, that's if you find it easier to keep going. But also you're being gentle enough to stop if that's all the time you have, right? So
I felt good. I did 25 minutes. I need a break.
Yes.
But then I can come back and be right back at it.
Yes.
Pomodoro definitely helped me.
I should just apply that to all aspects of life. Yeah.
25 minutes. But I think 10 minutes is an easy like gateway.
It is.
I still got some energy. I can keep going. Yes. That seems feasible. I like that. Okay. Those are really good. And I like the idea of more rhythms, because for me, balance is like 5 a.m. club. You got to wake up early, do all the things. It's like,
it's a hard.
I do wake up sometimes at 5, but like it feels pressure. So
yeah,
I want to find a rhythm with my life.
Yes.
And I like what you're saying about like rest and like finding time to connect with people. It reminds me of what I saw on Instagram maybe a few weeks ago. You're bored with life because you don't do enough side quests. And I was like, yeah, I don't do enough side quests. I do home and work and those two things, church on the weekend. Like I need more side quests, and more side quests to me is like spending time with friends. So the sun is going to be up till 7, so I'm going to find these side quests.
I was going to say that I think have an appreciation for boring now. And boring in like on a Sunday night doing your vitamins and your self-care routine. Like it's such a privilege to have a healthy body, to have a body, to just get to have peace and not have other things to think about.
Right, embracing to the next thing.
Yeah, so I'm also a busybody that usually struggles, and then I get burnt out, and then again, it's like the cycle. But I'm trying to sit with the quiet times and the times I don't have anything, and be like, I don't have to set up anything today. Not a brunch, not work, not, just laundry, or just quiet time, just reading time.
See where the day takes me versus over planning it.
Yes.
Yeah, I needed to hear that yesterday when I had a sick day, and I was like, I got all the things I need to do, and I'm like, just sit down.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being tired, but I got to do more.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Boring. It's a privilege to have a boring life sometimes.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Ooh. Thank you. We're wrapping up here, and so I'm just curious, how can my audience like connect with you and hear more from you if they want to get in touch?
Yes, so my alter ego is Pink Chicana Poet. So you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. And I haven't been as active, but you can find a lot of like the links to my poetry books, and I donate all the profits to fundraise for scholarships. And I highlight other artists and authors on my page, so you kind of can get connected to other folks in the community.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm happy if I'm willing to support in any way I can. If anybody has questions about grad school
life, navigating.
But now I'm curious, was it 2 summers ago you went to a book fair?
Yeah.
Are you having any of those plans? Can I see you out and about?
I don't have so I think last year I did do a book fair at Mesa College. And I don't have anything on the horizon yet, but I'm available if people want to invite me.
Okay.
And it works. Yeah. I'm open.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you. This has been a good episode. I'm glad we got to chat. So thank you so much, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you for joining us in the huddle today. I hope this conversation gave you something to reflect on, whether it's a new way of thinking about your hyphens, a leadership practice you want to try, or simply a reminder that you're not alone in this work. If this episode resonated with you, share with another multi-hyphenated leader in education, invite them to the next staff huddle. Drop a comment, share a story, or send a topic you'd love to hear more about on either my LinkedIn page or on Substack. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at RSmarr or join me on Substack at HyphenatEdDLeader, where I'm sharing more stories, frameworks, and resources from our conversation with the guest speakers from this series, Voices from the Huddle, that are leading into the season 2 theme of leading from the margins to the center. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps other hyphenated leaders find us and join us in the huddle conversation. Please know that Voices from the Huddle is an evolving and curated space, and I'm always open to new voices. So if you are a hyphenated leader yourself, or you would like to nominate someone whose perspective belongs in this very huddle, I welcome the opportunity to learn more from your story and be able to share it with the community. So be sure to email me, connect with me through a DM on LinkedIn or a message through the Substack. I'm happy to begin to build the community to recognize and elevate more voices of hyphenated leaders. Let's normalize talking about our experiences, let's support each other, and really build up this hyphenated leader community. So until our next staff huddle, be sure that you continue to lead authentically, keep embracing every hyphen, and have fun as well. So this is the Hyphenated Leader podcast, and I am Dr. Smarr. I will see you at the next staff huddle.